Welcome guys back to the channel. Behind me you can see a Mazda CX5 with a very strange problem. The owners were willing to travel, I believe, like 4 hours to us to get it sorted because no one tried or could sort it, and the issue is still remained after even the turbo was replaced. We've done already the exhaust pressure sensor replacement on this car before someone actually got the turbo replaced, but the issue is still present. So now let me switch up or turn the camera and show you what the problem is. So what the car does is basically when you drive it, it starts to jerk or judder. I believe it is more close to the regens or during the regens, when the regens are happening, and it loses power as well. And we already had this before, so now let me switch the camera and show you how to test it and what we think is wrong with the car. So let's have a look at it. Some may have already spotted that the camshaft is a new one in there. I just installed it yesterday, and let me use the pointy finger because someone said in the comment section I should use more to show you guys actually what the heck I'm talking about. So here is the old camshaft, and let's have a look at it. And let's have a look specifically at the wear. So as you can see, it is worn in here. I'm nearly able to insert my pointy finger in there. So basically that is worn as well, and not just worn. As you can see, the lip on the left side is missing, and let me explain why that is a problem. So this one underneath the camshaft lobe is a rocker arm, and basically the camshaft lobe, as it is spinning, pushing down on that rocker arm, and that is pushing further down the valve. Here we have a brand new rocker arm. The camshaft wears in these positions or in here, and as it wears, it's not able anymore to push down the rocker arms, and the rocker arms is not pushing the valves, so they are not opening, and they should be opening. And what's our theory, because we had something, I believe we already had it like 2 times before this car. So what we think is wrong with it, because the camshaft was worn for so long and it was pushing the valves down for so long, the valves actually got sticky, and they are not obviously they weren't opening, but even with the new camshaft we won't be able to turn the engine over because the valves are sticking in closed position. Basically, as I said, we won't be able to turn the engine over, and also the valves can stuck in 2 positions, either open or closed. If it's closed, obviously we can't get them open, and if they are stuck in an open position, like slightly open, so the valves are slightly pushed down, the engine will misfire. That is due to the sticky valves as well, because they cannot close, but I will talk about it later once the engine will be removed from this car, because this is an engine out job. But now let me illustrate or show you the actual problem. So I grab my long spanner. I'm going to turn the engine over by the camshaft. I know that's not how you're supposed to turn the engine, but this one, like in this case, it should turn freely. I have installed the new camshaft and I should be able to turn it over because injectors are removed, so there should be no compression in the cylinders, and I should be able to turn around the engine without any further issues. So 17mm spanner on the camshaft bolt, and let's turn it. So it starts to turn, and here we came to the end. So I should be forcing it, it should turn freely, and here is where it got stuck. So on the first exhaust valve, in the first cylinder, the exhaust valve underneath the the variable valve timing rocker arm is sticking. Very likely all four are sticking. We're not going to verify that at this point, because if one is sticking, we need to replace the cylinder head, or the problem is we can't really get them unstuck, because what you may end up doing is you hit the valves with something, let's say a hammer and something in between, but they stay open and basically will be forcing with the piston to close them, and they can make contact. It's not a good thing. You want to avoid that. We've tried it on a different car already, like if we can unstuck it while the engine is in situ and make it work, but that wasn't successful. So the only solution to that is to remove the engine and split it in half. So remove the cylinder head, obviously give it a new camshaft, and also in that job the the carbon cleaning will be included, because we have few cylinder heads already received from the machine shop and we can fit them. So basically the carbon cleaning, the intake port thing will be done, new camshaft, new valve stem seals, and we make sure the valves are not sticking and the car should be good. So now I'm going to leave the car to Dan. He can enjoy himself, remove the engine real quick, and then get this one sorted. Once it is back in the engine bay, I'm going to show you, take it for a test drive and show you that the car is not doing anymore what it's been doing and the fault is gone. Then just mention that here is the cylinder head, on which one we can actually show you guys when the valves are not closing properly. So this one is out, like if you can see it's not fully closed, so it causes a misfire because it cannot close fully. And keep in mind guys, this is an exhaust valve, so a carbon cleaning won't fix the issue, because during the carbon cleaning,
bit missing from here, isn't it?
Yeah, bit missing from there as well, but during the carbon cleaning you are basically cleaning the laps of these two valves, not these two. And this one is out, or in the combustion chamber open and cannot close, and I believe this one as well. Yeah, so this is how it is when they are stuck open. That's one thing. And the other one when they are stuck closed. So basically if I would be hitting it from the other side, I won't be able I will be able to hit them and push them down, but again they won't be closing. So finally Dan is going to remove the engine from the car, and I'll show you once it's removed and when he's going to fit the new cylinder head. So Dan have removed the engine in what, 2 hours? Maybe slightly more than 2 hours. We can already see that some kind of carbon cleaning has been attempted, because have a look at the gaskets. You can see the silicone sticking out there, and also in here, and the clamp is a regular hose clamp to the EGR cooler. It's not the original one. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we just can see that it has been attempted. What we don't recommend is, guys, using a silicone sealant, because the metal gaskets are there to seal. You don't need to use extra silicone sealant. Maybe on the turbo, if it's refurbished, you can use a silicone sealant on the surface of it, but usually that's not the case. We don't even use on the surface of the turbo housing. Yeah, so you can see the turbo has been reconditioned, but Dan wants to mention something, I believe.
So it has a coolant leak. You can see it's pink all around.
Yeah, because it had a wrong coolant in there, so it had a pink coolant instead of green. Some may say that it doesn't matter. We believe if there is a spec for that from the factory, we should put this factory one in there. But again guys, it's your car. If it is your car, it is up to you. And
can you see the pipe torn?
Yeah, that pipe is cracked. If you then try to shine a light,
that's where it was leaking coolant.
Try to zoom, focus. Yeah, it's cracked, so we need to replace the rubber hose. So then it's going to further strip the engine, because he's a very good stripper, engine stripper. And yeah, we're going to replace the cylinder head on this one. So Dan mentioned that during the removal of the things, he noticed that the turbo is wet inside. If he can try to shine the light there. So it is not a good thing that it is being just recently fitted, and you can see the wetness down there. So if I put my sticky finger down there, it doesn't reach, but water is there. Also, 2 gaskets were used instead of 1, and the intercooler, they put an extra bolt somewhere. Yes, I can see it, that one, or a screw, if Dan says so. And the intercooler, if Dan shine a light there, you can see it is wet as well, so that may need a further investigation.
I'm going to show the pipe.
He's going to show the pipe, he said. So this is the intercooler pipe. Usually is oily from the turbo, but as you can see, that's water. It's not supposed to be there at all. Dan already split the engine in half, guys, as you can see. He's cleaning the top of the pistons. He managed to clean the engine block already. And here is the cylinder head. We may show you from underneath how the valves look like. We may even tap them, the ones they are sticking, so you will be able to see they will be stay open, and the spring won't retract them back to their original position. So just let me tap gently with the hammer the top of the springs, and then I'll show you from the other side. So this is the cylinder head from the other side. And I did hit the valves, and it seems only this one is not closing properly. What I wanted to say, that the valve, this one is not going back fully, and we checked the rest, and it is only the valve in the first cylinder. But then it's too quick. He already put the new cylinder head on it, and it is torqued down to the specs, which I believe first you need to do 35 or 40 Newton meters.
I did 20 and then 40 and 3 times 90.
Yeah, and you're starting in the middle if I'm correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And let's have a look. As I said, the new or the refurbished cylinder heads have the carbon cleaning included, because the head is cleaned like brand new. So what is Dan going to do now? Obviously fit the rest of the parts, and keep in mind, guys, this is only he's doing it on his own, and he achieved to manage, or he managed to get this far on his own. So I believe maybe the car even will start tomorrow for the first startup. And in the background you can see a Supra, which is my Supra, but it is, I'm not gonna lie, a bit neglected. Mr. M is doing spark plugs on it. Not the best or easiest job, because you need to take off the whole intake manifold. It is what it is. And also once that is done, because what happened actually, I had a coolant leak, so that was the radiator. Basically the neck of the radiator wasn't sealing anymore properly, so now that is changed, and I wanted to take it or drive it home, and I noticed the misfire. And again, to be honest, it hasn't had a proper service for quite long. I mean, the spark plugs and coils, It doesn't have coil packs, but the leads instead. As you can see, still there is the distributor. So yeah, Mr. M is going to change the spark plugs now, but the bigger fun is, which is waiting for us, is these lovely tire pressure monitoring caps, which are seized on it already. How I know? I had them installed on my S2000 as well, and they are pretty fucked. And the BMW in the background, it is already finished. I just need to take it for a test drive. It came for oil and coolant leak. Oil leak was because of the oil filter housing, and the coolant leak, that was a pump, auxiliary water pump in front side, like front passenger side, just underneath the wheel arch of the car. Now both are replaced, so the car should be good. So guys, this is, I believe, the third day on that Mazda CX5. Today I came a bit later because I went to the barber to have my hair done, or haircut done. Then was here early in the morning, and yeah, he managed to put back the engine, because he is not just a good stripper but a good dresser as well. So he dressed the engine and fitted it back. Now he's filling it up with coolant, and after that we're going to obviously start it and take it for a test drive, do a couple more tests, resets, adaptations, make sure that the car is working properly, doesn't do that what it did, so that jerking, juddering. And after that we're going to let the customer know that the car is ready for collection. But I will do like a few other clips, like what we check, and I'll try to explain you what the issue was whilst we are driving the car. So Dan is going to sit next to me, he's going to monitor the live data, and then I'll be driving, or vice versa, and make sure the car is good. We're going to get done a DPF regen on it, not a forced one, not a cleaning, but in a way that I'm going to force the car to do the regen on its own. So yeah, once he finishes with the final touches, we're going to start it up. I'm going to include a clip of that as well, and then we're going to take it for a test drive, monitor the car, reset the adaptation, and see if it is everything fine with it. After we came back, raise it again, put it on the ramps, make sure nothing is leaking, and as I said, we can return the car to the customer. Okay, we are back from the test drive. The car done one regen during it. We forced it. It didn't do a forced regen. There is a difference. Like a forced regen is when the car is stationary and does the regen. We forced the car to make a regen, and it didn't do the shaking, the juddering. It's all good. However, Dan is going to take it home, which is 80 miles back and forth, or back and here, and once that is done, we'll confirm the car is good. But 99% of the 99% the car is fine. We're going to lift it one more time, just to make sure there is no leak, and I'll show you now the live data of the values so that you can see yourself as well. So I was curious about the oil pressure, and at 93 temperature or Celsius of engine oil temperature, we are averaging 160. If I rev it to 2000 or over 2000, it is already 360. The reason for that, because the control solenoid is switched on at higher oil temps. I can do a video about it, like what does that mean, what to check, what to look out for. Let's have a look at the exhaust pressure sensor values. I revved it. It raised rapidly and also climbed back down rapidly. It's all good. DPF values are very low because it just finished the DPF regen, and let me show you that as well. Car still needs to do like an injector pilot learning, because I did reset the injector data, but still let's have a look at the correction factors without the pilot learning. As you can see, injector number 1 and number 3 are correcting a little bit more. We are going to do the injector relearn or the pilot learning. I will link or leave a link in the description of the video, so my members already can watch it. If you become a member, you can watch it too. How to do it exactly, I'll help you with that. Let's have a look at the DPF values. Yeah, the accumulation of the particulate matter is quite low because it just had the DPF regen. Let's have a look. Yeah, nearly 10 kilometers ago. And also the Supra is finished. They started it up, but we still don't know if it is any good. We're going to check if it is misfiring or not. At the end of the day, it is still 2JZ, even if it is without the turbo.
And without the coolant. And without an air filter.
Yeah, and without an air filter. The car has finished the pilot learning, and let's have a look at the injector values, guys. They are much better. The closer to zero, the better. So yes, they are much better, and for you to prove these numbers, they've changed from zero. As you can see, when I scroll up, they keep changing. Not keep changing, but they changed. So that means the injector pilot learning has done. And also I have just done Dan helped me with the timing chain reset procedure, because we touched the timing chain, or like it's not necessary every time you do like to disconnect the sprocket or that, but I believe you need to do it when you disconnect the crankshaft sensor. So we did the timing chain reset procedure as well, and now we're going to finally raise the car on the ramps again and check it from underneath for any leaks. And yeah, Dan is going to then take it home and back. So the car is ready. Dan took it home and it was absolutely fabulous, no problems whatsoever. Obviously we're going for a test drive with the owners together, just to see and make sure the problem doesn't come back, doesn't reoccur. But yeah, that was it. That was the fixing of that juddering. Feel free to reach out to us if you have very similar problems or any problems of that matter with the Skyactiv 2.2 diesel or with the 1.5 diesel. It doesn't matter, or any cars. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you need help or troubleshooting or guiding through any problems you may be facing with your car, consider to join my Patreon group, where I give in detail and in-depth help to solve your issue. But other than that, see you soon in the very next video. Take care and bye bye.